We have a lot to talk about today besides this, but 2K went ahead and posted the last gen trailer for 2K24, man. Drop a like on this video if you guys are going to be on next gen, but let me know what you guys also think about this right here. I mean, I did not expect 2K to be dropping more stuff, especially something like this on a Friday in the middle of August. I really feel like they are trying their hardest to get that stigma away of, oh, we don't know anything about the game until the last minute, because they are really showing us a lot of news. We got a new rec here, we got a new center, the stage looks different. I mean, it's current gen or last gen, whatever you want to call it. You guys know I only posted like 3 or 4 videos the entire year on that, so I'm most likely gonna be on next gen basically the same like I was this year. I'll go back and play it a little bit, but you know what I'm saying, I just can't do it, bro. The graphics is not there compared to next gen. It looks like PS2 to me, but man, if you gotta play it, you got some new things to look at. Anyway, Fanta, not Phantom, Fanta, one of the guys that actually played 2K24 early. I showed you guys a picture that looked like maybe Agent. It turned out to be Fanta. Some people were like, oh, he doesn't know who Phantom is. That's funny. No, there's a guy named Fanta as well. He was an ex-NBA 2K League player, or maybe he's still in the league. I'm not sure. Anyway, he was in a space. He played 2K24 early, and he was talking about things that he's seen during the gameplay. This is going to be very interesting, all right? He said, tested 2K24 early. It's really hard to lose all 3 adrenaline bars on offense in 2K24. So really hard to lose all your bars on 2K24. Now, we hosted a space last night, which is like a live podcast for those of you that don't know. Uncle Dimmy was in there, and he said that he believes offense is the very most forgiving for adrenaline bars. So it's going to be hard to lose all 3 of those, but I think he also confirmed that it's going to be similar to defense, where as you're losing your adrenaline bars, your percentages of shots and all that goes down as well, just like on defense with steals and stuff. Anyway, I don't think it's going to be balanced. It's going to be very defense oriented from Fanta. Now, I want you guys to keep this in mind. Fanta only played the game a few times, and he's talking about from his very sweaty, less than 1% of people even play, you know, sweaty pro-am in the leagues and stuff like that. He's talking about that, where he's playing 5 people, a pure lockdown, every game that plays the game all day. They're pinching, they're pressing, they're communicating. That's from his version, thinking about what it's going to be like when he plays. So who knows if it's going to be like that when the game comes out. But I also want to say, for those of you that are already just scared as a guard and things like that, there was lots of pro-am players in the beginning of the year. I specifically remember people going, oh, the games are to 40-40 and 50-50. Now if you go watch a pro-am game, man, they got it all figured out, okay? So who knows how it's going to be when they get it figured out, but I think it's going to be closer to 50-50, which is what Uncle Dimmy said in the casual modes like Park and Rec and things like that. We'll just have to see, man. We will just have to see. Anyway, 2K19 size up stuff is back in the game. So basically what that means is if you guys didn't play 2K19, you're going to be able to hit one button, and it's going to give you a little, you know, dribble combo, like a little size up. You're going to get a few moves out of that. You're going to be able to move out of certain spots in it. And it's just, you know, it's very helpful, okay? It's cool to have that back in the game. So he also said rim running, like it was in 2K23, is patched for 2K24. So as we know, quick drops is going to be very high up. If it's even in the game. I can't remember if Mike Wing said it was in the game, but basically everything that is the best animations, which Uncle Dimmy talked about last night in our podcast, or, you know, live space, whatever you want to call it, is basically what Mike Wing was saying about the dribble moves and stuff. Like, yes, Steve Francis is the move everyone uses this year to do the quote-unquote left-right cheese, and Mike Wing talked about that being unlockable at a 95 ball handle. So if you want something like that, you got to go up really high, and I asked him, is it going to be like that for dunks and things? And he said he can't say anything because it hasn't been said yet, but basically, yes, okay? So that is going to be like that as well. The best animations should be the highest up. This is something we've talked about. He said the attributes are going to matter. You're not going to have, you know, the best dribble style, which is Michael Jordan this year at 75. Like, it still might be Michael Jordan at 75 ball handle, but it's not going to be the best animation, which is how it should be. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have the best animation at 75. That's crazy. Anyway, he said Fanta assured us that the 2K devs are working hard to do their best to make the game and make adjustments based on feedback. He confirmed that he went for 2 different weeks to test the game and said that there were changes made based on what he told them. So That sounded really good, guys. That is sounding really good from, developers listening. And I've heard this before, that the developers actually do listen. Of course, 2K has what's called a quote-unquote roadmap. So we ask for things to be in the game. It doesn't mean that it is going to be put in the game, or if they don't, they don't listen. Because as we see, Rookie to Legend is back. We also have seasons at the same time. We've got crossplay. We've got things that 2K has listened to in gameplay and things like that as well, like greening on the dunks. Many things they've listened to. But at the end of the day, there's many things that they can't change, because that's where they feel like is the best way to go to make the most money, because they are a public traded company. So their goal every single quarter is to make more and more money. So they can't necessarily change something that's not going to make them more money in their opinion. You know what I'm saying? So I do like that they have been listening a lot, though, and they've been dropping the news earlier. This is the most news we've ever had. Ever before the game came out this early. I mean, I can't think of another game where it was like this. Anyway, you're not going to be able to get the most glitchy moves at lower ratings, which is, just what we talked about, guys. In every single category, I'm loving to see that 2K is most likely going to keep it like that. Why would you get Michael Jordan free throw line dunks this year at, I think it's 75 vertical or 80 vertical is what you need, and at 88 driving dunk, and you only need gold limitless takeoff to do free throw line dunks? I mean, just think about that, guys. Actual logic in the animations and stuff like that will make the builder much more balanced, because you can't just go, okay, I got my Michael Jordan dunks at 88 driving dunk, I don't need to upgrade anymore. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. We will see. Now, Mike Wang had an interesting one. He said that you can still get contact dunks with the shot button, but it's just a dice roll. Chance based on ratings. The frequency goes down significantly on Hall of Fame and in Rec/Park. So basically, just like this year, I don't know if he's toned it down even more, but you're not going to be able to just be holding X, holding square, and getting contacts at least at the same rate that you would with doing dunk meters. So Solo was talking about someone in the space. He said someone that played 24 early said 6'8s and 6'9s aren't like that anymore. You got to practice some new dribble moves, because that 2K23 stuff is not going to fly in 24. Now, we have some Uncle Demi things to talk about, because he did make a video on gameplay and things that is very important that we need to talk about. But at the same time, 2K made some tweets yesterday, and I want to talk about yesterday's video as well, but this is going to be new news at the same time, okay? So they tweeted out and they said, sneak peek at Season 1. Pro Pass Season 1 unlocks access to 40 levels of earnable premium rewards. Get the Season 1 Pro Pass and automatically receive animated green arm sleeve, checkerboard striped shorts, Giannis, Limitless Range Hall of Fame. So Limitless Range is back, that exact badge. Hall of Fame Pass includes 15,000 VC, 15% XP booster, 10 level skips. Remember, there are still 40 free rewards to earn every season in my career, and my team 80 in total. So I want to talk about this, but we have a few more things, and then I'll just sum it up. You guys will see why I still want to, say a few more things about that. So we all know that the season battle pass, I seen people saying this yesterday, kind of like I was trying to say that it was a good thing that 2K has it, or I was saying that, Apex has it, Fortnite. I understand those games are free, guys. I completely understand that all those games are free. I was never trying to compare it exactly to those games, but I was just trying to say that there's other games. Everybody has it now, so it just was inevitable for 2K to do it as well. Now, Double H made a tweet and he said, people are seeing a price tag and just immediately going into defensive mode. The Pro Pass costs $10 and you get 45,000 VC. 35,000 VC is $10 usually, so you're literally going to get 10,000 more VC and an additional 44 rewards. How is that not a good deal if you already going to buy VC? So once I seen that, the graphic that 2K posted yesterday, guys, if you buy VC at all, now I know there's people that don't grind, they grind legit to 99. That doesn't make sense to not buy the Pro Pass. Now, the Legend Pass, we haven't seen everything yet, in my opinion. I don't think we've seen everything yet, but as you guys see, breaking it down, there's really no reason to not get the Pro Pass if you're going to buy VC, because I'm guessing you're going to be getting boost and things like that as well. Now, looking at the graphic a little bit better, someone said that there's chest hair now and a new hairstyle, which is pretty cool, by the way, because I know people want new hairstyles. But you see, the 45,000 VC is what you get for the Pro Pass. So just that alone, you're just making it back. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to make sure you guys understood that I know 2K is not a free game. I know the builds are not free. However, the Pro Pass, especially after I've seen that, is something that I just don't see why you wouldn't get if you buy VC. Now, the Legend Pass or whatever it's called, I don't know about that. And I see that people are worried about gameplay rewards being there behind a paywall. It's going to give you a competitive advantage. And I don't see an issue with that, but that's only if it's like, you know, what we've talked about. +2 ball handle, +3 ball handle. You know, if it's bro, if you're losing to somebody because they spent $20 and they got a +2 ball handle arm sleeve. Like, think about that. You're not going to lose to somebody just because they have a +2 ball handle arm sleeve. You know what I'm saying? So I do understand people's worries about that. They don't want to be like at a big disadvantage. I don't think 2K is going to do that. I don't think they're going to be like, oh, +5 badges, +6 badges to your build. No, I don't think they're going to do that, bro. But we will see. And like I told you guys in the last video, I don't even know if I'm going to be buying the other one. I'm definitely buying the Pro Pass, because why not? But if the rewards aren't good, I'm not getting it. Anyway, they said, here's how much you get. 25K My Team points, 45K VC on the Pro to Hall of Fame, 20K MTP on the Pro to Hall of Fame. So even if you guys play My Team and stuff like that, how everything is connected, I think that the Pro Pass is easily worth it. I know someone asked me to break it down in my comments on the last video. I just don't see why you wouldn't get it, okay? I really do not see why you wouldn't get it at this point. You guys let me know how you feel. But anyway, Uncle Demi went to Twitter, and he said, rest assured, 2K24 will celebrate all heights. Whether you're a small guard, tall guard, stretch, inside, big, post-score, slasher, lockdown, you'll find your place. The new builder is all about balance, empowering players to master their craft. The true skill gap will emerge when a player creates a balanced build so good, it's dubbed a demigod. That's a mark of skill, managing to achieve what others can't through tireless dedication and mastery. Now, ChatGPT maybe? I don't know, Uncle Demi, but okay, look, what I'm getting from that and what he's already said, guys, is we are going through a 2K19, 2K20 builder. And I don't have any problem with that at all, because like I've said so many times, regardless, besides the excuse that people use this year, oh, YouTubers post build videos, so that's why everyone has the same build. No, the builder does that. We literally have, it's a recency bias thing, guys. We literally have older 2Ks, 2K19, 2K20, just a few years ago, where people were using many different lineups. There was so much diversity because the builder made that. No matter how many best builds I posted, I showed off my build, or Steezo showed off his build, or anybody, there was still many different lineups you could run because you were never at a clear, gigantic disadvantage. Like, for example, what I'm trying to say is, think about 2K22. If someone asked you in 2K22, what's the meta build on 2K22? If anyone didn't say playmaking shot creator, you would look at them like they're absolutely stupid. The IQ of a butternut squash. Or even in 2K21, right? But if you ask, what's the meta build in 2K20? You're going to get so many different answers. I don't think there was a meta build in 2K20. Okay, you had the playmaking shot creator. You had my slashing playmaker that I made. First build of the year. I was so close to getting the two-way slashing playmaker. But then two-way slashing playmaker, playmaking glass cleaner, Joe Knows facilitating finisher. I mean, it could just go on and on. There was literally 10 plus builds you could go into a wager with for money on like the 2v2 court. And I would either, in any of those, be like, okay, I have a chance to win this game. I'm not at a big disadvantage, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, Uncle Demi wanted to note this out with the stage today. He said, reflecting on current, sorry, not the stage, but just in general, reflecting on the current gen neighborhood, here are some intriguing observations. The stage now boasts a revamped design. We now have access to a 5v5 court. The rec center has been graced with a fresh, updated aesthetic and a 3v3 matchmaking. Now, in there, they show that there was a 1v1 VR. I don't know if that's the same thing as the 1v1 last year, but VR has me kind of confused what that is. Hopefully that is something new, but I don't know. Look, we got a lot of Uncle Demi stuff to roll, and I'll be right back.
It says defensive movement has improved on many fronts with better responsiveness and less sliding. I want to address that. That is so true. That is so true. And I think that was always the hardest part about being a defender, was being able to stop. What made the left-right so hard was because defenders just always slid. It was like defenders was actually dealing with real life physics, like running hard to the right, you try to stop, you kind of stutter, and then you go to the other way. Whereas guards were able to move left, right, like there was no type of physics behind that, right? But now that is not the case. Like, you're able to really mirror an individual, especially if you read them and you know they SIGs, or you just kind of, you know how most guards, they have a certain type of rhythm, how they want to go down the court. You're able to really read that. And then when it says better responsiveness, yes, if they burst to the left, I'm able to burst to the left. And the reason being is because there's some really dope new badges in the game. I can't speak on that, but there's some dope defensive badges in the game that's really, really going to change the game. Trust me, you're really going to like that.
I think this sounds amazing. You guys know I'm mainly a guard. I want to see better defense in the game. For some reason, since 2K21, the sliding has been kind of crazy, and it's weird because back in 2K20, 2K19, I mean, just thinking about the games, there wasn't as much sliding, which is really weird. So if you're able to, for example, just like a guard, like we've talked about, have the same foot planting, that is actually what will make defense better. Some people actually genuinely think that steals in the beginning of the year of 2K23 was a skill gap. They're like, oh, we had good defense and now you guys are complaining and look what happened. Like, no, actual skill gap to defense is being able to stop on the left and then run right as the guard stops and runs right. If you time it right, if you have the right attributes, if you have the right badges, things like that, which you're not necessarily able to do on 2K23. Now, do I think steal should have been nerfed as much as they did? I don't know, okay? I don't know. I'd have to see like a middle ground, but people were literally walking up. Guys, I had a lockdown build and just taking the ball. First of all, that's not real basketball at all. Second, there's no skill gap to that, you know? There was actual pro-am players. Think about a 5v5 court if you guys don't play that were in the sweaty, you know, comp pro-am, where they were double pressing the guard. They would literally let the guard run by them so that they could get a quote-unquote back tap. If you guys don't know what that is, basically a steal from behind. They were letting them run by them to back tap them, and there's not much you can do as a guard. I mean, you're just running from the lockdown the whole game. That's not basketball, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, we got more to talk about. It's gonna be a long video, boys. I'll be right back.
So a guard, if you want to ISO, like I've been saying, if you want to ISO this year, you're gonna have to have strength, because it's gonna be very hard to ISO and just stay on the perimeter, right? You're going to have to be able to try to get your way to the cup. But I can see some really, really good smaller guards that are shifty. And again, don't take what I say as Bible, because, I mean, to me, I feel like an ISO guard that has some strength and a little bit of slashing is probably going to be a lot better than just like a small guard that just has nothing but shooting, no finishing, no strength. Because what that does is really, you're really going to have to rely on, you know, playing against being an extremely great dribbler or playing against really, really poor defenders. But if you're playing against a great defender and that great defender knows that only thing you're going to do is try to stay on the perimeter, you're going to get bumped so much your adrenaline bars are gone and you're just going to pass it. Like,
all right, so this is another very interesting one, because once again, we're hearing about strength. At this point, strength is basically a meme. If you guys aren't deep into the 2K community, every single year we hear that strength is gonna matter. Strength is gonna matter. Now, it does to a certain degree. Obviously, if you're a center, you need strength, probably things like that. But as a guard this year, you're pretty much fine with the lowest strength you can possibly get. You know what I'm saying? There's really not an issue with having a 25 strength or 40 or whatever it makes you do. So this does go back to, if you guys didn't see the previous one that Uncle Dimmy was talking about, that pure lockdown is basically going to be able to like bump you and make people lose the ball, even like give you some serious bumps. So I'm wondering if that goes into the strength now that I'm thinking about it. But who knows, bro? Who knows if you're gonna need strength or not? But Uncle Dimmy has been very adamant once again about strength mattering. So I don't really know, bro. I honestly don't. But as he also prefaced, if you're a very good guard, very good at dribbling, you probably might not need that. So who knows, man? I mean, there's so many things that I just don't think strength is gonna matter, because I've heard it so many times. I gotta see it. I gotta see it matter. But we got a lot more Uncle Dimmy clips to flip through, and I'll be right back.
You know how sometimes when you can still go out, like in 23, you could run out to the perimeter and like you could jump and still somehow recover, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like you could jump, still recover. The dude does a head fake and tries to go by you and he still gets stuck. You know how like you get stuck on the jumping defender and all that? Nah, all that's gone, man. If you're in the paint and you get hit and your man's in the corner for a 3 wide open, just go ahead and take that L. You're either going to foul him on the shot, or you're going to go, or you might get to contest. But it just depends on how wild you run out there.
I really like the sound of this. A skill gap on both sides of the court. Once again, I always want to say I have to see it first. But that is something that is very annoying as a guard. If you make someone jump this year, they can make it back and block your dunk. You know, they can make it back to contest your shot. It is kind of crazy, even without pogo stick or anything like that. So it's going to be interesting to see, bro. But I don't know, man. I don't know. It's sounding a little bit too good to be true. But man, we have crossplay, rookie to legend is back, a lot of gameplay things that are good so far. We've heard about having to green the dunks is I think one of the biggest ones as well, being able to shoot with a 75 3-pointer if you're actually good. I mean, so many things that I will put on the end screen. If you guys haven't seen that video, you need to see it. So at the end of the video, you'll be able to just click on something and go straight to it. It's important. It's like 30 minutes of Mike Wayne, the gameplay developer, talking about the game, so I'll put that there for you guys. But at the same time, bro, I gotta see it, okay? So even if half of this stuff is real, because we already know we got crossplay, rookie to legend, if those rewards are actually good, okay, if they're actually good, that is amazing. If half of this stuff they've been talking about is real, it's already the best 2K since 2K20. I mean, 2K21, or sorry, yeah, 2K22, 23, we didn't have a legend grind. 21, next gen, man, it was so hyped up, we didn't even care about current gen, and then next gen came out, and next gen was what it was, right? So in terms of grinding the game, it's already the best game since 20. But if half these things are right, even half, man, it could be one of the top best 2Ks ever. But of course, we are a long way from that. I want to say we still have to see the game. We have to see what gameplay looks like with maxed out badges. We have to see if people figure out any exploits. If there's exploits, is 2K gonna fix it? So many things. But just because it has a rookie to legend grind, now this is my opinion, okay? Yours could be different because you guys know I care about rewards. Unless you're very new, you do know that the number one thing in my opinion is good rewards, okay? Obviously, number 2 is gameplay. I wouldn't have gameplay any further down, but the reason why I believe rewards is more important than gameplay even itself is because if gameplay is very good, now I'm speaking for myself and a lot of other people, you may not be the same, some people just want to get on and hoop, then eventually 2 months into the game, 3 months into the game, you're gonna be bored. You're gonna be like, I'm just, you know, the gameplay is good, but I'm not earning anything, right? I think you need to earn something to play throughout the whole year because you don't want to just be playing for nothing. So, man, if the rookie to legend is good rewards, we're in for a good year, and let's roll this next Uncle Demi clip.
Same way, if you're on the right side, you flick on the right side with the right hand, you're gonna get that steal. And then again, if the ball is in the defender's left hand, and you come over now, if the ball's in the left hand and you're facing him, that means your right hand's gonna be on his left side. So you flick the stick with and you get a higher chance of getting steals doing that. But if you guess wrong, you get an animation to where like you would if, hey, you know how people say, if you reach, I teach. That's kind of how the animation you get.
This is beautiful. Now, a few seconds later, Uncle Demi said it's a very high risk, high reward thing. So if you're good on defense, you guessed correctly, you have a much higher chance of getting the steal. Of course, I hope it's not automatic because that would be crazy, you know, depending on your ratings. If I got Hall of Fame Unpluckable and someone's got Silver Glove and they, you know, reach at the right time, who knows if they're going to get it way more than someone on or around the same as someone with Hall of Fame glove, things like that. I don't know. But once again, skill gap in the game is huge for the game. Now, I've thought for a long time, I think I've said this maybe before, that a lot of people want a skill gap in 2K. Now, 2K has a skill gap, okay? There's an obvious difference between a 2K League player and someone who, you know, they started playing the game this year for their first time, right? But people want more of a skill gap in 2K. I think a lot of those people are in for a rude awakening because if there truly is an actual big window of skill gap, then a lot of people are going to get exposed. A lot of people that are wanting that skill gap are not going to be wanting it once it comes out. So I don't know, man. We will see, but we have more Uncle Demi stuff to roll. Let's get it.
Anticipating is going to be huge because you can get crazy bumps, animations. I'm talking about bumps to where like people lose the ball. Right? Not those weird bumps where like, you know, they like the person's running bump and the ball just rolls away. Like you actually see like the offensive player bump, like stand up, bounce back, and like, oh, like stumble and the ball come out.
Once again, Uncle Demi's talking about what he talked about before, and we just, you know, went over it, that you're going to actually lose the ball. If someone bumps you correctly, and, you know, I'm guessing they, you know, have the right stats and you have low strength, you know, if strength actually matters, you're gonna lose the ball. You're gonna get bumped so bad. So people that just like run straight into you and then they get through you, whew, good luck on 2K24 if that stuff is true, because there's actually a way to play 2K like on the 1v1 court and stuff, of course, where, you know, people can't pick up, where you can run actually straight into people over and over and you'll just get to the rim. Like, it's actually disgusting how bad that is. But we have some interesting things, okay? We're switching up the topic about defense. Uncle Demi's going to be talking about big men now. Let's roll it.
Bigs are going to be really good this year. And that's where I'm going to put it at, because I don't know if I can say much about what else. But, like, the paint is going to – listen, paint defense is really, really strong. Paint mashing is definitely going to be gone. Like, another center trying to paint mash another center – like, you do a couple head fakes, you're going to get called to travel. So I love the fact that traveling is back in the game. So you can't head fake but a certain amount of times, and you will be called to travel. I love that. I used to hate when the center would do 16 head fakes, get close to the basket and dunk it. That is gone. You cannot do that no more. So thank God to that.
Okay, so that's a little bit to digest right there, but he will be talking about post moves, and he talked about this in our space last night, that post scores are going to be overpowered, but I'm going to let him explain it. If that's true, that the traveling is there, it's in the game, that's really good, because I know you guys know someone that goes into the paint and does 9 pump fakes before they go up. That's gone, at least, you know, from what he's saying. So guys, remember, when I'm saying, like, okay, that's gone, I haven't played the game. I'm going straight off from, you know, what someone has played the game has said. So don't get mad at me when the game comes out if something's not like that. And of course, once again, I do want to say for Uncle Demi, you know, I know he was getting a lot of hate lately. It's been a little bit different, as, you know, some good news is coming out. You know, obviously there is still people upset at him and things like that. But if he says something like, for example, last year he was talking about Bully being very good, it doesn't mean necessarily that he lied when the game comes out. I don't know if he did or not. What I'm trying to say is he could have been in that play test and been like, yeah, Bully is good. People knew Bully was good. The devs knew Bully was super good. And then they changed it. So when the game came out, it wasn't the same. You know what I'm saying? So who knows, bro? That's the whole reason they're doing all these play tests. But I do want to say W2K, because this seems like out of any year, the most they've ever had creators a part of the game. And guess what? Look how much people are hyped. This is the most hype we've ever had about the game. And I'm talking about crossplay. I'm talking about rookie to legend, having a green and dunks, you know. So many good things, because they actually have people out there testing the game. They have 2K League players testing the game. Now, they've done this before, but I'm saying the size, the amount of people, the multiple different play tests, like you've seen from Fantasy earlier, that he was there across, you know, 2 different weeks, and there was changes that the devs were making. Like, of course, you know, it doesn't mean that someone who's a, you know, regular 2K player, their opinion doesn't matter, okay? But someone who plays the game a lot, 2K League player, a content creator, I think that their opinions matter a lot. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't mean they listen to everyone, which they definitely don't. But as you guys are seeing, and I have analytical proof, you know, you can have your own opinions. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. I can look back at last year and tell you for sure that the hype is larger right now than it was in previous years, okay? Because I make these videos every year and I look at the numbers and stuff like that, and they haven't even showed everything, guys. We still have the builder, we still have badges, we still have what the city looks like, the gameplay of the park, what the park, you know, actually looks like, what's the rewards for rookie to legend, what's the rewards in the season pass that because I'm telling y'all, they haven't showed everything yet in the season. In my opinion, I don't think they've showed everything yet in that pass. So who knows if the $20 pass is actually going to be worth it. I don't know, but think about all the things they haven't showed yet, bro. It's going to be a nasty year, man. If you don't have on notifications, you need them on right now, and you need to click the button and make sure it says all, okay? So you get everyone as soon as I upload, but we have more Uncle Demi things to talk about. Let's get it.
Post fades got, like, post moves in general has gotten a buff, right? So if you're talking about centers now being able to not just use the post hook, but now they're able to utilize moves that is going to allow them to be even more lethal than before. Because if you're buffing a fade, that means obviously it's going to be a lot easier to be able to hit your hop shots. It's going to be a lot easier to hit just your normal post fades.
So he talked about this in our podcast or space, whatever you want to call it, last night, and he was saying that he thinks that post scores is something that people have completely overlooked, because as we know, Mike Wing has already said mid-ranges, post fades, hops, whatever it is in the mid-range has got a buff. And he was like, I don't see how no one has thought about post scores are also a part of that. So we'll have to see when 2K24 comes out. The only thing that matters to me is skill gap. If someone's actually very good at being a post scorer, I'm all for that, bro. I'm all for that. However, in many 2Ks, 2K has made it to where it's a very low skill gap to be able to be nice at post score, and there's basically no difference in watching a very good post score and a guy who just started playing like a week ago. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of like post moves and all that, because there's always just 1, 2, 3 broken moves, that's the only ones you have to do, and the other ones are actually so bad that no one uses them. Okay, so we'll see, man. If there's a skill gap, I have no problem with someone that plays post score and is very good. You know what I'm saying? Just make it to where it's not broken. Okay, like we had the like you guys know that have played 2K, man. We have to get post scores patched almost every year because there's something that comes out. Like I think this year it was people were hitting like heavily contested post hooks for fun. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It's not something that should necessarily be in the game, or if it is, if you're able to hit a 40% contested shot, it has to have this extremely super small green window, and you just timed it perfect over, you know, a 6-7 guard that did jump correctly, but he doesn't have enough block, and you know, things like that. Okay, I can see that happening, but not nearly something that should be efficient. All right, so anyway, we have another Uncle Demi clip. Let's roll it.
Well, everybody remember the post lock. I mean, I don't know a lot of people do post locks now because of the 6-9s and stuff, but I can see in 2K24, you know, that coming back. Post scores, lockdowns, just dominating the 2v2, because at the same time, you know, RIP to the 6-9 demigods, man. So it's like, when you talk about that, post scores are going to be back. Let's just go ahead and start accepting that right now. If you listen, the dominance of 2 6-9s on the twos court, you know, or you know, a nice little small little play shot, running around against screens, man, that's dead, man. I mean, I ain't gonna say it's not dead. Like, I mean, obviously people got skill, they can be able to do it, but it's like, listen, post score is about to go crazy.
Okay, so now that we've got all that out, where Uncle Demi said post scores are going to be overpowered, Solo made a tweet on Twitter, and he said, Uncle Demi, who tested 2K24 early, just said post scores will be overpowered, and Zach Timmerman said false. Now, you guys might be like, who is Zach Timmerman? You gotta be an OG to know who Timmerman is, bro. He was kind of like a Baluba back in the day, or maybe he was more of Mike Wang back in the day, and now Mike Wang is who Timmerman is. But basically, he works for 2K, and he said false. He doesn't think post scores are going to be as crazy as Uncle Demi is saying, but who knows, man? Who knows when the game comes out how it's going to be. But guys, you got to see this 30-minute video about Mike Wang talking about all sorts of gameplay that you need to see for 2K24. Click the video, bro. Click it. I'm leaving. All right, I'm about to go. You gotta smack that button, okay? In the middle, just tap it or click it, and I'm out. Peace.